I want to explain kind of what's been happening, but I feel like I need to do just a real quick backstory of when I was diagnosed with uterine cancer. So I get asked a lot, like, what was my biggest symptom of that? It was the fact that I bled for over 2 years. I never went to a gyno because I did go to the ER a couple times. I did see an actual doctor a couple times. And every single time I'd go, they would say, yeah, this isn't normal, but people your size have really weird and irregular periods. And I was diagnosed with a UTI multiple times. So all of that fed into my delusion, and it made it to where like the fear of going to a gynecologist was a lot stronger than me actually going. Long story short, I did have uterine cancer. I ended up getting a full hysterectomy, so I no longer have a menstrual cycle, so I don't bleed from down yonder. So if I ever notice blood from down yonder, something is wrong.
Okay, so let us talk about how Amberlynn Reid takes responsibilities for her poor health. Kinda, sorta, but not. This girl a mess, y'all. Hi guys, welcome to my channel if you're new, and welcome back if you've been around here a while. I'm Kendra. This is Kendra Creates. This is my channel where I share my life with you guys. I also talk about stuff on the internet, and today is one of those days. So if that sounds good to you, then make sure you are subscribed to my channel. Also, go ahead and give this video a thumbs up while you are at it. So today we are going to be talking about Amberlynn Reid and how she talks about her unknown health issue that she's going through, and referring back to that little intro snippet, she basically talks about her past history. So she had uterine cancer. She didn't know she had it. The largest symptom was she bled for 2 years. Within those 2 years, she never saw a gynecologist. She only went to the ER or emergency care, and they chalked it up to her size as being responsible for odd cycles. But she never saw a gynecologist. So now she has blood in her urine, and she's talking to friends about it, and she's Googling things, and they're saying it could be a UTI because that's what they chalked it up to last time when she had cancer. But now she's thinking, oh, well, is the cancer back? Or is it just a UTI? So she has to go in for this scan that's going to scan her pelvis, her abdomen, to see if what's going on. If the cancer is back, is it just a UTI? Is it an unknown bacterial situation? We don't know. But she does not have a PCP to go to, so she's calling doctors, to try to get in or whatever. And she can't get in because she doesn't have a PCP, and they're talking about it's going to be months down the road before she has an appointment. And so she said that she's been in her new state since October, but in that time she has not found a PCP. So she has not been prioritizing her health, her physical health as well as her mental health, because people have also asked her, are you going to see a therapist? And she's like, oh yeah, sure, whatever. But she has not found one because she hasn't talked about it. So we skip to her going to immediate care because she can't get into the doctor's office. Immediate care, they said it's not a UTI. They say we can get you in with a doctor pretty quickly. So she does get in with that doctor pretty quickly. They do a test as well. It's still not a UTI, but they give her antibiotics just in case it's an unknown infection. And so she's going to have a scan. So that's kind of where we are with everything pretty much. And then she goes on to talk about like when she's going through these things, it's very heart-wrenching. She kind of disassociates, whatever. It brings her back to the time when she was diagnosed with cancer. And let me first say, I can understand how this probably is like kind of traumatizing for her. And it's also very painful, and it's bringing up bad memories, and that can hurt you. That can be devastating for your emotional and mental well-being. I 100% totally get that. However, I have to throw this in here that she has not been prioritizing her health. She has not been getting the scans that she should have been getting to make sure and check that the cancer isn't back. And of course, we all know that she has not been losing weight and she has not been taking care of her health. She has not, been eating a proper diet. And she as so much as admits that. She did start this new Ozempic semaglutide journey that we're about to see. I was going to talk about that, but then I decided not to because I was just like, whatever. But I do want to talk about this because I feel like it's important because a lot of people do not prioritize their health, even if they're quote unquote healthy. They don't get their regular annual checkups. They kind of get scared about little small stuff and they just rather just not know. How can you bleed for 2 years and not go to the gynecologist? That's crazy. I digress. It is what it is. It's happened now. But then she goes on to talk about weight, health, all of this, and I will let you guys hear.
I just kept going back and forth, like, do I want to tell you guys about this? Like, I'm embarrassed and I'm ashamed, but it's also like, there are things that your body does that you are not in control over. And I know a lot of people are like, this happened to you because of your weight. This is your weight's fault. This is your weight's fault. Not everything is because of my size and because of my weight. So it's hard to come on here and feel like a normal human because I get so much like, this is your fault. This is your fault. Sometimes it's just literally not my fault. I have fully taken the responsibility of me getting uterine cancer to begin with. Like, that is completely my fault. I have had health professionals tell me, no, it isn't your fault. But it's like when you look at it and you figure out, why did I get this? It is my fault. And I would have never gotten it if it wasn't for my size. And that's something that I hold on to all the time. The guilt that I feel about that is powerful. But I can't blame everything on my size because not everything is my size's fault. Looking at bigger people and dismissing them constantly for whatever reason, it's because of their weight, it isn't fair. And it is in a way dehumanizing. But I'm not ignorant. I'm not unaware of the fact that being larger does cause a lot of health problems. It truly does. That is why I've never been health at every size. I don't believe that you can be this size and be healthy, but I do believe that bigger people, such as myself, we do experience illnesses or sicknesses that isn't directly caused by our weight.
See, and this is the part that I get and then I kind of don't get. Yes, of course. All of the issues that you may have or health issues may not be directly attributed to your size. That's a great possibility. It is a great possibility. But I feel like a lot of the things that you've had in the past have attributed to your size. And it's like you were almost there with taking accountability. It's your fault you haven't saw a PCP yet. It's, your fault because you're this size and it affected your health as so much that you got uterine cancer. It was like you were almost there accepting responsibility, but then you totally detracted from that path and then stated, well, everything is not attributed to my size. And what isn't attributed to your size? Can you go into specifics about that? What is attributed to your size? Can you go into specifics about that? And I feel like she wasn't very specific. Is she talking about the cancer? Is she talking about a UTI? Is she talking about her current unknown health problem? She doesn't know if it's attributed to her size or not. And I feel like a lot of times people just do not want to accept responsibility for the health issues that they have. And they live in delusional land, and it's hard for them to come to grips that what they're doing on an everyday basis is harming themselves. And I put it like this: if you get cancer, you have to go through that whole entire journey. You get your uterus removed. You have to go through that situation. And you still don't take your health seriously, At this point, I feel like almost there's no helping you, because you would think that that would cause you to reevaluate your life and the decisions that you're making and make a change. And it just did not. Now, I don't know about all the things that she has, all her diagnoses or whatever, but it's obvious that she is not probably taking care of her health. And we're not talking about her being her size. We're not talking about her not exercising or eating the wrong kind of foods. Like, she doesn't even take care of her mental health. It's very obvious. She decides to go on to subreddits and read those and read the comment sections and go to reaction channels, stuff that is obviously not good for her mental health. Does she even take her medication in regards to the diagnosis that she has? Does she see a therapist? Does she see a psychiatrist? I don't think she does. She could be, and just not showing that part of her life, but I highly doubt it, because her life is monetized. And anything that's going to be a clickbait situation like this health scare, she's going to want to talk about, because it's going to bring in the views and get her some money. And I feel like she's caught in this loop that she can't get out of, you know, because she just doesn't take things very seriously. She is not getting her follow-up scans, you know, and this is stuff that is outside of exercise and a healthy diet and her size. We're not even talking about that stuff right now. We're just talking about simple, basic things. So then she goes on to say that she's being dismissed and judged because of her size. And of course, there are people that are doing that, but a lot of people are not. They're doing it because of the person that she is. She wants to get on the internet and cry and, you know, want people to feel sorry for her, which I get it. It's a tough thing to go through, whatever, you know, your health. But also, how can you garner sympathy when you are basically doing this stuff to yourself? It is hard to get sympathy from viewers when you're stuck in that loop and you keep on doing the same things over and over again and making the same mistakes. It's kind of like the little boy that cried wolf. People are going to get tired of this and tired of you. And I believe she just turned her audience against her. That's pretty much what it is. So I don't think it's necessarily because of your size. It's just because of who you are. And then she talks about, people talk about how she can't shower, how she can't walk her dog, how she can't clean her house because of her size. And then she says, well, that's not true. But then she says that in 2019, it was virtually impossible for her to do those things. So which one is it? Which one is it? It's kind of like you're admitting the truth, but then you're backtracking and saying, oh, no, that's not the truth. People have a hard time believing her because of these things. It's her inability to live in reality and her inability to accept responsibility for her actions. And she says she wants to be more than her size. And the thing about it is, I think she is more than her size. At the end of the day, she is a human being. And most people really want the best for this woman. They want to see her turn her life around and lose weight and actually live a life that's worth living and not just being stuck inside ordering DoorDash or whatever, which she's kind of getting out, you know, with her family and stuff, and that's great to see. However, when is she going to learn that lesson? When? No one wants it to be too late for her. And I don't really think that she wants it to be too late for her. But what is really going to be her wake-up call? Because honestly and truly, I think that that is why she lost her last mate. Because her mate got tired of her making excuses for not losing weight. Her mate likes her, and her mate likes big women. But she didn't like the fact that her weight held her back and she couldn't do things with her that she wanted to do. This is all my speculation and opinion, but it kind of makes sense. Because she talked about like, oh, wifey likes to travel and do this and do that. But How can you do that when you are that size and you have that limited mobility that you have? Y'all, I wish her the best. I wish you guys the best. And there's always some type of lesson to learn. Make sure you get a PCP. Make sure you get your yearly annual physical checkup. If you are suffering from any type of ailment, issue, disease, whatever, make sure you take your medication. Make sure you see your doctor regularly for those issues. Make sure you have those suggested checkups that you need. And if you do not have health insurance, I advise you to try to find avenues to get some health insurance, whether that be government, state provided health insurance, or, try to get on a spouse's plan or a parent's plan if you are a younger individual. And I'm not sure how it works in other countries outside of the US. But make sure you take care of yourself as much as you can. And do not be too scared to get those checkups and see about your health. Because I'm telling you, health is such a beautiful thing. Do you owe it to anybody? No, but you really should owe it to yourself. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I will see you on the next one. I appreciate you so much and thank you for watching. Make sure you continue to spread kindness in the world full of hate.